I just wanted to ask you, I mean, why you think college is a scam. I like watched your Jubilee segment.
Exhibit A just walked by.
Okay. Um, so that's just like one of many professors we have here on campus.
Is he about the norm of how liberal campus professors are?
Okay, well,
And
I'm
not only
asking
that,
you. I'm asking you, not the crowd here. I just
No,
want to know
they're
what.
supporting my position. I
Okay.
use that somewhat somewhat jokingly, but
Okay.
if that's really what you're paying for, he even admitted, well, people here can't find jobs. Then why the heck are you going to college if your own professor acknowledges you can't find
I'm
jobs?
a math major. I'm not a psychology major, so
Sociology, but yeah, fine.
yeah. Okay, whatever. But so I'm getting my education to become an actuary, so I can
Amazing.
get a job, make money.
And that
But anyways, I want
finish
to
your
ask
point.
you
I'll put my
what your like level of education was and why you didn't go to college or dropped out or whatever.
I'm a proud high school graduate.
Okay.
So, and an American entrepreneur that now employs 1,500 people, $100 million budget. Millions and millions of people follow us, and I didn't have to go to college to do that. And so, if people think college is for them, then great.
Okay, how did you get there?
Through hard work and grit and determination
Okay.
and traveling.
Did you make connections with other people? Did you network?
Yeah, and actually, college wouldn't have helped at all for that.
Okay,
And
how?
Well, because I was trying to meet successful, rich, seasoned, conservative people to seed fund my operation. And if you're trying to find successful conservative people, you don't go to college campuses to find those people usually.
Well, if you
And-
look at the crowd, all these people here are conservative, so I don't know what.
Fair enough. Again, emphasis on wealthy, successful business people. I'm sure there's some in the audience.
So you're
but-
calling all these people poor?
Well, no, I'm calling them students. Okay, so unless someone here is like a crypto billionaire, I want to meet you. I was looking for seed funding, of which is very normal for a startup operation to do.
Okay.
But again, I weighed the cost and the benefit. I took a gap year. It's been 13 gap years. However, I am curious, does it matter that I didn't went to college? Do we want to debate resumes or ideas?
No, ideas, not
Okay,
resumes.
cool. So you are studying to be an actuary. Cool. Explain to me, are you worried at all that artificial intelligence will take your job in 5 years?
I've asked a few. I've had many informational interviews with actuaries. I've asked them that same question, and they aren't worried. They actually think that it's going to help actuaries do their job more efficiently, especially with like computing on the computer. So I mean, but the job itself isn't going to go away because of AI.
But there might be less actuaries.
Well, it's a very secure job, so I'm not worried.
I mean, again, I know dangerously little about an actuary, but let's say that you're an actuary for an insurance company.
Yes.
I would imagine part of being an actuary for Allstate or State Farm would be the synthesizing and the collection of tens of millions of data points, finding trends and averages, and then trying to project where that data is going to go, right?
Yeah.
Objectively, artificial intelligence is going to be better than 99% of human beings with that way. And there's no human cost, and you can run it 24 hours a day. So you're right, there still might need actuaries to make final determinations. But again, I don't know enough about it. But to say that AI won't touch your field, I think it will. In fact, I think it will lower the headcount and make entry-level new graduates from schools like this with actuary degrees or math degrees not nearly as important as it was 10 years ago. Hence my hypothesis that college is a scam, that a lot of people here are getting degrees that will be replaced by robots or artificial intelligence, and half the audience, if you get a job, that actually half the jobs that are available that kids end up getting don't even require college degrees in the first place.
Okay, but so you're saying AI is just going to totally replace everything?
Not everything, no. I said, I'm hypothesizing. I don't know enough about what actuaries do, but
Yeah.
you heard my 30-second shtick, somewhat directionally correct, I imagine, right?
Sure, yeah.
Because insurance companies, the backbone of how insurance companies make money are actuaries, because they have to know what to pay for rates and then pay out for hurricanes or fires or are people going to drop dead. They
Yeah.
have to project that data into the future. I mean, AI is really good at math right now. It's getting better, and it's getting
Yeah.
better, and it's getting better. And so if we get to a place where they think it's going to get, and you're a business owner, why employ 5,000 actuaries that require benefits and health care?
Well, what about the human element? Like, an AI can predict something, but a human can outweigh whether or not that's the right decision or not.
Oh, of course, no. I'm saying the headcount of actuaries will inevitably go down. So you'll end up with like 100 really seasoned actuaries, and all the 4,990 people, 900 would probably be largely unnecessary because the number crunching, the data synthesizing, the projecting can be done much quicker and even more accurately in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, I mean, we are already using computers to calculate data with coding. So I don't know what you're trying to say here.
This is much different, though. The AI can assume some of the human characteristics to be able to blend data models, project them, think analytically. AI is even more advanced than what you are seeing publicly. It's way more advanced. Yeah. It's like 2 years more advanced. The private artificial intelligence of what companies are paying for right now would blow your mind what they can actually get. So again, I don't know enough about actuaries to be able to make a determination, but if I were guessing, I would say that 90% of actuaries are going to be out of work in the next 10 years.
Okay, so can we go back to the original question with college being a scam? Though?
Yeah, but that's part of the point. Is that if you're borrowing money,
but not just actuaries, not just me, but like other majors, other jobs. You always talk about like social, like liberal arts majors, but what about like I don't know, like teachers. Teachers need to get credentials.
Well,
and
teachers
all that.
are also going to largely be replaced by artificial intelligence.
Well, why would we do that?
Well, but it's already happening. It's not a matter of why. Again, I actually think there's some problems with it.
You would like a kindergarten to be taught by an AI?
I'm observing a trend. I'm not even saying it's good. I'm saying it's happening.
Okay.
I'm saying that we are seeing teacher headcount go down across the country because
because it's hard to make a living being a teacher.
Well, also AI is far more customizable. It actually is able to have learning plans based on a lot of different characteristics of the individual student. We're seeing kindergartners across the country use it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I actually think we lose the human element of teaching.
Yeah.
We can agree on that. But it's happening, right? So we could fight the future. It's the direction it's going. So the question should be, is college worth it like it was 20 years ago? And increasingly, the answer is no. Again, half the kids in this audience, I'll reiterate it because I wasn't as clear as I should have been. Half the kids in this audience, if they get a job, they'll end up getting a job that doesn't require a college degree, rendering their time here largely useless.
But they network here and they make friends and stuff.
You also can network outside of college. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
If the argument is that this is a glorified LinkedIn, if that's what college has become,
I'm not really trying to make that point.
Then make the point why 80% of kids are here that should be in college. Like,
well, if you go to college and you have it on your resume, you have a degree. What that shows is that you can finish something and that you are trustworthy of finishing something.
Increasingly, people are looking for kids that didn't go to college. In fact, they're bringing back competency tests and IQ tests. Increasingly, it matters less and less of the credential, matters more and more of the competency and the character of the applicant you're looking at. Look, you are right. In certain fields, they require a college degree. Respect. Totally right. But that's
where do they go then? Where do they go?
For what?
In no college, where do they go?
We need more welders, entrepreneurs,
yeah,
carpenters,
people
HVAC.
Already going. I had an old roommate. He left to become an electrician.
And he's going to end up making a lot more money than most of the people in this audience, actually.
Okay. So what do? Everyone's becoming an electrician. Everyone becomes
You know, we have 11 million open jobs in this country right now that pay more than $80,000 or more a year that don't require a college degree.
They just become, they just go there.
Well, yes. So, for example, let's be
education?
honest. Well, hold on. Just because you don't have a degree doesn't mean you don't have an education. You can be a lifelong learner right now because we have these supercomputers in our right-hand pocket. You can take Hillsdale online courses. You could do the Peterson Academy. You can listen to deep podcasts. You could learn more by listening to 50 hours of Joe Rogan talk to scientists than the sociology department here at Washington State University. So the point being is just because you did not go to college or get a degree does not mean you are not cultured or that you are not in pursuit of knowledge. We actually have more opportunities for people to be wise and to understand the world than ever before. But let me just reiterate it. Many of the people here in college are in college because there's a shame element to becoming a carpenter. There's a shame element to becoming an electrician. No one wants to say, oh, I work construction. And no parent is like a proud parent. They're like, what's Johnny doing? Oh, Johnny's become a welder. It's like that's kind of looked down upon. Instead, it's like, oh, my kid goes to Washington State or my kid goes to UW. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but we have 11 million job openings in this country that people simply don't want to do right now. And that's a tragedy, and they pay really, really well, and they're not going to be replaced anytime soon.